שלום לשניים, פרופסור אלכסנדר ריפלה, המכון הלאומי למחלות זיהומיות בבוקרשט וסגן יושב ראש הפרלמנט הרומני, וראעד ערפאת, לשעבר שר הבריאות רומניה. Hello and good morning, Professor ריפלה and ראעד ערפאת. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
First of all, Professor Rípela, how severe is the situation regarding the coronavirus in these days in Romania?
I think it's one of the most serious situations we faced during this pandemic. Unfortunately, we still have a big number of new cases, and what is more worrying is the enormous number of deaths. Yesterday, we had almost 600 for a country with 19 million inhabitants like Romania. It's enormous. It's one of the most the highest percentage if you compare with the size, the population size. And we have two elements. One is the decreasing, and it's I think it's now on a descendant way, the number of new cases, but the number of deaths is still very, very high, and it's a great concern for all the public health authorities and also for the population.
And we know, Professor Rípela, that Romania has one of the lowest vaccination rates in Europe. Has it improved in the last days?
Yes, it was an important improvement in the last months, I should say. But now the interest for vaccination, it's again,
Yes,
100,000 new. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, we decreased from 100,000 vaccination for the first dose, daily vaccination. Now it's around 50,000. So the trend is also descending, and maybe we should do something to have at least 10 million people vaccinated until the end of this year. In my opinion, this should be a target which is possible to get until the end of this year, and then we'll be in a much better situation, taking into account that a lot of people were infected, unfortunately. But in fact, what we are looking now is to have this immunity and this herd immunity, and the only solution is vaccination. Otherwise, it's very difficult to say that another waves, the fifth or the sixth wave, won't hit Romania, and we should do all of us our best to reach these objectives.
Yes, and Ráעad Arafat, we know the European Union and Israel send now medical aid to Romania.
Yes, Romania activated the European Civil Protection Mechanism. In fact, Romania in the last 1 year and a half, or even 1 year and 8 months, did 36 missions in helping other countries, most of them under the Civil Protection Mechanism, not all for COVID, but we had teams going to Italy, to Slovakia, to Moldova, and to Tunisia for helping our colleagues there. Now it was our turn to activate the European Civil Protection Mechanism because of the high impact. You see the images here from an emergency department, which you have been showing before, and there is a huge impact on emergency departments and on intensive care units, especially because of the huge number of critical cases arriving. So we have at this moment in Romania medical teams that are helping us from Denmark, from Poland, and from Moldova. As well, we received various medications and materials that we needed at this moment that it was hard to obtain, especially the oxygen concentrators. And Israel came also in our support by donating a number of oxygen concentrators, as well as a team that was going to arrive at the beginning of next week to exchange experience with our staff in the hospitals and in the emergency rooms and intensive care departments. So this is a very appreciated act from the side of Israel. And I think that this is the normal thing, how things should be happening. Solidarity is extremely important. In the EU, the European Civil Protection Mechanism is built on this basis. And as Romania was involved in other areas when we didn't have a very serious situation, at this moment, others are helping us when we are in our most difficult time. So I hope that we will pass over this as soon as possible. But as Professor Rípela was saying before, this all depends on the vaccination rate and on the increasing of the vaccination rate. It's the only way that we can deal with this, because until now, we extended our health sector to the maximum. We have 4 field hospitals which are installed at this moment in Romania. We have increased the number of intensive care beds that are designated to COVID patients. We are using emergency departments as a last line of defense in order to ventilate patients for even a long period, as you see here, until we have a place in the intensive care. And we are sending patients to other countries. Like today, for example, we will be sending 6 to Germany on a German Air Force medical airplane. Yesterday, we sent other 6 to Germany on a Romanian Air Force airplane with the Romanian medical team. And we have sent patients to Poland. We have sent patients to Hungary, to Austria. Yes. So we are doing our best to deal with this situation that we have at this moment.
Professor Raa'ad, good morning. This is Professor Adler. I have to say that Raa'ad and me spent 2 days, 3 months ago together in Bobukrasht, and the situation was excellent. Why you have so low percentage of vaccinated people in Romania? And is there any difference? And another question, is there any difference between the big cities like Bucharest, Cluj, to the small area of Romania?
Yes, there is a difference between big cities and smaller rural areas, but still the vaccination hesitancy has many reasons, not only one reason. But amongst the reasons are all the fake news that was spread around the vaccination. And Romania was in the front line of vaccination in the first 2 or 3 months, and then this started dropping. The drop in the vaccination, yes, one of them was the fake news. In Romania, one particular issue is that fake news was not only spread on social media, it was even spread on part of the mainstream media. And then, of course, people have seen that the number of cases is dropping during the summer, so many of them thought, okay, we're fine, no more cases, we have 20, 30 cases a day, why vaccinate ourselves? There will be no problem, though there have been a lot of warnings by public health people that this is just a temporary peacetime, as we say, and that things will increase again during the autumn and the winter. Yeah. And many other reasons I can come with, but I will not go into them at this moment. So we need to convince people to get vaccinated. We need to convince them based on simple explanations to them, to explain to them why they should be vaccinated, why it is safe, why it is not dangerous to get vaccinated against the COVID. At least now what we show Israel as an example, and I keep on telling them, do you think that the Israeli government would vaccinate all its population if they knew that there was something dangerous in this vaccine? This is something that I don't think that the Israeli government would do.
Yeah, so Israel
and at
is
the
an
same
example.
time, if you look Israel is an example from this point of view. Yeah. And also we look at other issues. In the world now, we have more than 4 billion people vaccinated. Yeah. So this shows us that it's a worldwide act, and we need to get more vaccinated people. And I hope that Romania will start increasing in the next period.
Yes.
There are, as I said, a lot of issues that have to be dealt with.
Raa'ad Arafat and Professor Rípela, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.